Hey everyone, I thought I would try something different this week, so let me know what you think. I thought that I would try doing kind of an astrology, what's going on in the sky this week video. I tried to do it kind of in a podcast and I did it in a blog, but I think that this way might be a little bit more fun, and some people said to me they wanted to kind of learn a little bit more about astrology. So I'm gonna, do this and let me know what your feedback is. Do you like it? Do you not? Like, what do you think? And of course I've got my astrology t-shirt on for this, which I don't know if you can still get it, but I got a H&M, so it's out there. Anyway, so let's start the week by talking about the moon. The moon goes through a sign every 2.5 days or so. And so it moves fairly fast, and what the moon rules is our emotions and the way that we feel about things. And so there may be times where you notice that people are more moody than others, or they're more quiet than others, and this is usually because of what's going on with the moon. So this week we start off the week on Monday today with the moon in Scorpio, which can make people very intense in some ways, a lot of intense emotions, but it can also make people a lot more interested in things like sex and magic and into kind of more intense kind of things. Also, if you're a water sign, it also helps with your intuition whenever the moon is in a water sign. So we start off Monday that way, and then the moon goes into Tuesday. So Monday, Tuesday, good time for for any kind of spiritual work, or if you're looking to get romantic with somebody, those are two good days to do it. And then all the times I'm going to give you are in Central Time, which is time zone I'm in, so adjust as necessary. Then at 8:34 p.m. on Tuesday, the moon is going into what's called a void. A void is when the moon is making no aspects to any other major planetary bodies. And during that time, it's not a good time to start something new, to buy a big ticket item. It's just a time for going with the flow and to take it easy if you can. So at 8:34 p.m. on Tuesday, the moon goes into void. And then at 12:08 a.m., so right in the morning on Wednesday, the moon moves into Sagittarius, and this makes people more outgoing, more likely to take risks. They don't really want to get down to work, they want to have fun, and that is Wednesday and Thursday. And then the moon has another void at 9:12 a.m. on the Friday and moves into Capricorn at 12:45 p.m. So when the moon goes into Capricorn, it's people switch from wanting to have fun and not kind of, in Sagittarius, and then Capricorn, they're ready to get down to work. They're ready to get stuff done. So this weekend is going to be a good time to get some stuff done, get some yard work done, get some stuff you've been putting off done. It's a great time for that. And then the full moon occurs at 11:07 p.m. on Saturday, July 8th. So depending where you are, if you're, west of there, it's going to be west of where I am. It's going to be on the Saturday. If you're east of there, it's going to be on the Sunday morning. But Saturday night, Sunday morning is the full moon in Capricorn, and the moon stays in Capricorn until 9:12 a.m. on Sunday when it goes into a void. So Sunday's not really a good day to get stuff done, but Friday and Saturday are. Now, full moons are when the moon is opposite the sun. So the sun is in Cancer, the moon is in Capricorn. Obviously, people's emotions are running quite high because it's a full moon, and the moon affects the tides, and we're mostly water, so that's why it affects us. And the sun in Cancer Cancer is a sign that's very much about the home and nurturing and the imagination and the subconscious. The moon rules Cancer, but the moon is in Capricorn, meaning that while we want to consciously kind of be more at home and be more nurturing and explore imaginations, emotionally we are I gotta get some stuff done. I gotta get some stuff done. I gotta, get down to work, get them things going, and we want to get organized emotionally. And so sometimes when the moon and the sun are opposite each other in a full moon, those things can become a conflict, which is why emotions can run really high. But you can get those two things to work together. So you might want to ask yourself what you need to get done around the house. What do you need to get done emotionally? What work needs to be done on your creative work and your subconscious in order to make that full moon energy really work for you this weekend? So that's what's going on with the moon. Sun-wise, the sun which rules our egos and our conscious mind, our character. That is going from 11 to 16 degrees of Cancer this week. The sun has a trine, which is a beneficial aspect to Neptune at 7:46 p.m. on Wednesday. And when that happens, we are very idealistic, we're very romantic, we're not terribly good at getting things done, so Wednesday's not a great day to get things done for sure, but we are very open to imagination and ideas and very dreamy. And then also on Wednesday, the sun forms a square with Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of expansion and luck. Squares are considered more difficult. They're about internal tension. So a lot of personal issues may come up, especially conflicts with our philosophy, how our philosophy doesn't match what we're doing in our real life, and somebody may point that out to us. So watch for that on Wednesday. Mercury is very active this week. Mercury is the planet that rules communication and travel, and he's going from 24 degrees of Cancer to 5 degrees of Leo. So he changes signs from Cancer to Leo on Wednesday, July 5th at 7:20 p.m. Central. So Mercury in Cancer helps us to communicate our emotions, helps us communicate our feelings. It also can cause sometimes disagreements because we don't realize that we are subconsciously projecting. That's kind of the downside. When it moves into Leo, we become more demonstrative. We're more likely to say how we feel. We're more likely to ask for what we want, be more assertive, more fun-loving. But we also might talk a lot about ourselves because that's a Leo thing. So the energy is going to be shifting midweek, as you can see. Now there are some aspects going on with Mercury. Mercury forms a square to Uranus at 7:51 p.m. on Tuesday. So this can lead to sudden information that surprises us out of the blue, because Uranus rules surprises and changes and sudden events. We may hear something where we're like, I didn't know that, or that really shocks me. So watch to see where that is in your chart. Uranus is in Aries right now, so wherever Aries is in your chart, you may hear some surprising information. The moon forms a sextile with Venus on Friday, which it leads to happy communication. Sextiles are a very easygoing aspect, but you have to, unlike trines where luck comes to you, this you have to go out and get it. So it's saying there's opportunities for you, especially with women, you know, to speak in a way, to talk to each other, to have communication that's beneficial. Mercury has a trine with Chiron on Wednesday. So there's opportunities on Wednesday for us to talk about things that are very healing, to realize where we may have issues going on, to talk about those things with people in a helpful manner, and also has a sextile with Athena on Saturday. So there's opportunities for us to talk about our strategies, you know, to kind of get down to work on things, to talk about what our plans are for the future on Saturday. Venus comes next. Venus is going from 27 degrees Taurus to 4 degrees Gemini. She moves into Gemini at 7:11 p.m. Central on Tuesday, July 4th. So Venus is very happy in Taurus. It's one of the signs that she rules. Taurus is all about sensuality and earthiness and beauty, and Venus loves all that stuff. So it's very, very comfortable in Taurus. Not so comfortable in Gemini. However, Venus in Gemini is more intellectual, so we're more likely to be attracted to people and things that are on the intellectual side. You know, we might be more cerebral, we might want to read books more, we might want to talk more about, you know, what we want romantically, or what pleases us aesthetically, or what our artistic aspirations are. Venus has a sextile with Chiron on Tuesday, so again, there's opportunities for us to talk about maybe some of the wounds we have in romantic relationships, or past romantic wounds. So that's what's going on with Venus, who rules love and beauty and the arts. Next, we have Mars, which rules our energy, how we are putting our will out into the world, our competitiveness, you know, what our sex drives are, also are just, even do we like sports, that kind of thing. It rules all of our drives. And Mars is going from 18 to 22 degrees of Cancer. Mars is not terribly happy in Cancer because Mars is more of a fiery sign. It likes fiery energy. And in Cancer, this means like you're more likely to be passive aggressive and more likely to express it as moodiness. He forms an opposition to Pluto on Monday. So people are maybe feeling somewhat restricted on Monday, feeling like their desires aren't being met, or that you know, they want to go out and change things and do things, but they're being held back in some way, so that can cause conflict for people. Jupiter's not doing much. It's just sitting at 14 degrees of Libra. Saturn goes from 23 to 22 degrees of Sagittarius, and it's in retrograde, which means it appears to be moving backward. Of course, planets don't really move backward, but because the Earth is moving at a different speed, it appears to. And when it's in retrograde, that means that that energy is not as accessible to us, and we may feel like, you know, one step forward, two steps back. So Saturn's telling us that our structures and the things that we want to organize may not be moving as fast ahead as we'd like, and he's forming a trine with Vesta on Monday and Tuesday. So there are opportunities for us to think about how we're structuring our spiritual time, how we're structuring our time at home. So there are opportunities that come with it this week. Uranus is at 28 degrees of Aries, so not doing too much there. Same with Neptune and Pluto. They're not terribly active this week. I'm going to talk about the outer, not the outer planets, some of the major asteroids like Chiron. Ceres is one that rules nurturing and mothering, also agriculture, and she's going from 26 to 29 degrees of Gemini, and she forms a square with Chiron from Wednesday to Saturday. So there may be some tensions that we have, perhaps with our mother, perhaps with mothering and parenting, where old wounds are being brought up this week, and we're going to have to deal with that this week. So just a heads up. And then the other asteroids aren't terribly active. They're not doing too much. Athena is at 1 to 3 degrees of Taurus. Juno's at 10 to 9 degrees of Capricorn, and Vesta's at 23 to 25 degrees of Leo. Finally, Chiron's sitting at 28 degrees of Pisces, and he's in retrograde. So he's bringing up a lot of old stuff because he's the asteroid that rules our healings and our old wounds and past wounds, and he's in retrograde. So he's really looking at some old stuff this week. So that's what I'm seeing astrologically for the week. Let me know what you think of this. Do you like this? Do you not like this? What do you think? Do you want to know more? Like, let me know. Anyway, like and subscribe. See you next time.